Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to our Hellish Quart competitive tourney. We've moved on to round 2. Last time there were tons of technical issues. The game was just running slow for who knows what reason. Kubel keeps breaking his game and it's infuriating to deal with, but hopefully the restart of the PC will fix that. If not, we will continue playing with the settings and go from there. Okay. Let's have a look at what the settings look like. Everything should be good. That's what I usually do and everything's fine, so I'll just try again. Some random CPU fight, and then I'll let our next fighters in. Pekla unfortunately had to go, but that's not due to the issues. That's just something out of his control. He had some meeting he had to attend, so a little unfortunate, but we'll just continue with the tournament as usual. And yeah, not much we can do about that. But I do appreciate Pico trying to show up. I mean, that looks good so far. Nice. Pull a Kramnik. So Daisy talking about calling everyone cheaters and just pulling a Kramnik. Anyone who's familiar with chess knows all about that. I don't know, it looks better. I noticed like one slowdown during an exchange though. That was okay, that was a weird HQ bug. That wasn't. What the hell is that? Alright, let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna pull up the stream on my YouTube. I mean, I think it's looking better. I think we can proceed with this. I think I saw a weird visual bug or two, but I'm not sure if the game's actually slowing down, so... It looks better? Yeah, I agree. Yes, I don't think the game's really slowing down now, so... I haven't seen any FPS fluctuations, I haven't seen... I don't think I saw a stutter either. I saw Barbash's head behave strangely, but I think that is just Hellish Quart being weird. And I can, yeah, like I'm doing these rapid fire snap cuts. Did Bar get slowed down? No, he didn't. And I can confirm that it's really fast here, it's fast on Tao's host, so... He definitely was not slowed down, he's fast as ever. Alright, let's go with it. Yeah, this feels pretty good. Alright. Just wanted to give it a solid test to see if anything would come up. I don't think anything did, so... Let's get Synth against Daisy in now, because Pico had to go. Make sure my parsec's online. I don't think you guys can even see it. Yeah, I'll just do that with Pico. It's not a problem. I mean, the reality is Pico's probably gonna get last place, so I could probably literally, because it's a little difficult to deal with in a round robin when somebody just leaves like that when it's points based, but I can literally just give Daisy the, or sorry, who did Pico fight? Yeah, Synth. So I could literally just make it so everyone's 0-0, and then nobody's gaining points from that. So, because Synth obviously does have an advantage because nobody else would gain points, or I could make it so everyone wins that fight by default. But yeah, I think I'll just 0-0 the fight. I think that's the simplest solution. I just, yeah, if nobody gets points from Pico, that should be just fine. All right. So if Venator's fight, I'll do that as well. I'll just do 0-0. And we'll just do that for the rest of Pico's fights. I'll get that out of the way right now before we proceed. Won't take much longer. I almost did Synth's fight there. Let's not do that. Alright, and this tournament should go even faster now that we've done that. So, Synth on the left, Daisy on the right. Let's make sure they're both in. Alright, let's get started. Oh, did I not? Hang on, do you want that skin? I might be able to unlock it. No biggie? No, I'll unlock it. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. What do I do it for here? Probably. Okay. Sava doesn't have any interesting skins. Alright. Let's go. Well, I still want the option to be available, so it's up to you if you want to take it. Yeah. I mean, it makes no difference, obviously. Thrust attempt there by Synth, going with the German longsword against the Marie here. She is French, but uses the Italian style. Fabrice specifically. Okay. So I saw a strange stutter there, but like, it wasn't anything that affected the fight. It's definitely way better, so we'll stick with that. Thrust there. But do let me know, guys, if it still felt weird in some way. I'm trying to address that, but... Zera's new war cries, I guess you can call them. Nice thrust there by Daisy. Daisy's Marie is actually really good. It's just that Marie right now is not in a fantastic state, so you can do a lot of skillful plays with Marie that don't go so well. Because if something goes even slightly wrong, Marie's weaknesses do come into their own. That was a great thrust there by Daisy. Again, the triangle, beautiful. And to get results like this with Marie is not easy, especially against Zera. But the creativity is definitely showing there. Good sidestep, very smart idea against Zera there. Getting off the center line to stab him in the side, but unfortunately this time it's not able to kill. Nice thrust there. It's actually a very even fight. We're seeing a lot of even fights, which is great. Daisy dashes in. That's a huge risk again with Marie. You want to keep distance usually. Dashing in. If you land the thrust perfectly, it will often kill. But if it's deflected somehow, then you're just getting way too close to your opponent and you will pay for it. Still appreciate the effort there. Trying to catch the thrust there, but gets blade beat. Daisy blocked that with high guard. That was cool. She blocked it with her hand protection, that cut. So that's not something you see very often, but good to see that Marie's hand protection is at least doing its job sometimes. Even against that big long sword. That was a nice interaction. Love to see stuff like that. The thrust does not connect, unfortunately. Zera able to at least partially block it, and that seems like it was enough to get it off center. Very surprising, but it is a rough matchup for Marie, as a lot of them are. Still applaud Daisy for putting in such an effort. Stip your fight? Yeah, we can do that. Synth against Venator then. I know Synth probably didn't expect to fight again, but that is the next fight we've got, so... Yeah, it's not a problem, Oak. I see, yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't feel discouraged from playing Isabella, though. I personally prefer Bar, so that's part of the reason I also picked him instead of Izzy, but I also didn't want to use Isabella as Y cut cheese, so... If you just play Isabella normally, there's nothing particularly cheesy about using her, so... Definitely against Venator, I recommend using your best character. Alright, so Venator against Synth. Names are set. Venator will take the left. Synth will take the right. Let me make sure Synth has keyboard. I don't know why Parsec does that. Anyway, go ahead. Just a weird visual bug when I was setting the keyboard. But that's been a bug that's been with us for a while. Venator considering Alexander. He's actually a very good Alexander. Very good Laszlo as well. I can see why he might be contemplating Laszlo. Does end up going with Laszlo in the end. Okay, Venator's good, I guess. He long guarded, so. I don't know why is he good to go? He long guarded. Yeah, okay, evidently not. I'm confused. Maybe he was testing an input. It's very stuttery. Is it? Oh, okay, well, Synth seems to be doing okay. Do you want to restart? Or reconnect, I should say. We'll try that. Sometimes that fixes it. If not, we can also try Steam. I really don't mind. And I'm sure Synth doesn't mind Steam either if we have to put her on Steam as well. But yeah, we'll try Parsec first. It was fine in the previous fight. Yeah, so that's probably all we need to do, but we'll see. Try and take control, Venator. Maybe do some cuts or whatever, test it out. How is that? Probably not good. Alright, let's try Steam then, I don't mind. I'll just let you in like that. You can stay on Parsec for now, Synth, if you prefer. It's up to you. Yeah, yeah. But I'll switch you off if something happens. Alright, I don't think Venator can take control like this, but we'll see. Synth is good to go. Is Venator good to go? He might have just lost control. We might have to head back to the character select screen. Because Steam can do weird stuff. Alright, let's try that. I'm not hearing anything from Venator, so... Okay, Venator take the left. Let's see if he can actually move. Oh, was that Venator or... Hang on. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but... I'll reset gamepads before we migrate Synth to Steam if we need to. Okay, go ahead, Venator. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, I'm not surprised Steam is worse. Steam is just inferior most of the time. Yeah, yeah. We can do that. You are showing up as yellow bars on Steam, by the way. Let me check your ping when you get on the Parsec. Connections of Christmas tree. Yeah, that's fun. I don't want to be that guy, but it might be something on your end or something between Romania and Canada. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what it might be. Because Cynthia's doing fine. I can't see your ping, but that's a usual parsec visual bug, so... Alright, well, we'll try this again. Yeah, take the left Venator. Maybe we need to reset. We might need to restart the game entirely, actually, so I'll do that. Just to avoid... Yeah. I think I need to restart the game. It wasn't stuttery anymore? Interesting. I don't know why, though. It would suddenly get better, but maybe... I don't know. The connection improved in quality over that space of time. I don't want right of way. God damn it, Kobold. Man. He needs to code his menus better. Because I can highlight something with my cursor, and it'll highlight the thing just below it. And then I'm wondering which one I'm selecting. Anyway, that's a small thing. Alright, you guys are good to go? Beautiful. It also looks better, too, than when we started earlier, so that's good. Venator just goes in with those cuts. I mean, when you've got a shorter weapon, that's often what you want to do, so... Obviously, it's best to cover yourself, or something like that might happen, but... Like, at the end of the day, Laszlo's goal, especially, is to get in there. Marta's thrust looking very accurate, I have to say, compared to Marie's. They're just hitting very precisely, and again, that sidestep. If Marie did something like that, it would not kill. It would probably graze, and then Laszlo would have gotten the kill. Really goes to show the difference here between the two characters. Marta recovering pretty well from some of these blade beats, too. It's actually pretty tough for Venator to close in. But he does this time. Nice LGX attack there. Good jab there. Was Marta changed recently, I wonder? Because her thrusts look more crisp than usual. And they've always been pretty accurate, but I feel like something about them today, they just look really crisp. Maybe Synth is timing them extremely well? I'm not sure. She got increased wrist strength. Okay, I didn't see that. There's a lot of changes Kubel just implements into his updates, and they're hard to keep track of. But the wrist strength is definitely showing here. I think Marie could use some increased wrist strength, but I don't know. Yeah, Marta might be quite a menace. She needed a buff unlike Marie. Oh my goodness, yeah. Priorities, right? But actually, Venator's able to close past the point there. Venator, okay, Venator keeps striking the same angle. He needs to switch it up. I think Synth is lagging, though. Yeah, he was hitting the strong, so that actually makes sense. But Synth couldn't move, so I don't know why. Alright, what's happening? You're not seeing anything. Oh, is it frozen? What happened? It just froze? Why would it freeze? Hang on. Okay, so... Alright. So that's what happened. I was wondering why Venator kept attacking. Okay, well... Wait, what? Synth disconnected. Hang on, Venator. Synth had a problem with their connection. Okay. Yeah, maybe just reconnect to Venator if it's still frozen, because that's what the Synth's doing. Synth has keyboard, so you should be able to just control the other side. Yeah, just reconnect Venator. Just to be safe. I don't want anybody to be frozen when the engagement uh, begins. Alright. Long guard when you're good to go. Do some inputs first to test it out. We might have to just... Hang on. Let me reset gamepads too. Or are we still frozen? Alright, well I'll just... We're at 6 to 6, if that's okay with you guys. So last flag, we'll just redo the picks and go from there. I sent Kubel the bug report about the slowness of the game, by the way, while we were sorting this out with my phone, so... Alright, what's happening now? No control? Oh, I didn't give you a keyboard, that's why. No, that's nothing... Alright, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, Laszlo, Marta, beautiful. Nice thrust there. Oh, another stab there, and Synth takes it. I'm glad it stopped freezing there. Alright, 7 to 6. And I think Oak is back, so I'll fight him next. Alright, let's go Oak. And then, yeah, we'll do Oak against Daisy. So Oak, if you could stay in the Parsec, that'd be good. You're actually going to do a bunch of fights in a row because... Actually, no, Pico's not here. So there's 2 fights, but that's fine. Then we'll actually be on round 4 and we'll be almost done. So, believe it or not, we're actually almost done the whole tourney. After we do these 2 fights. So, just hang in there a bit longer. We'll get through it. Where is Oak? Here we are. Oak needs keyboard. I'll be on the left. Oak will be on the right. Oak's going to be using Yazik. Look at this. It highlights. I mean, in that case, it makes sense. But, like, look at that. It flickers. It's like the crown with right of way. Right of way is not borked. But the menu does literally the same thing the crown does. I love it. I love it. That's just a really funny coincidence. That the main issue we have with right of way is that the crown randomly flickers. And the menu does the exact same thing. Makes you wonder. Alright, let's go, Oak.
Oh yeah.
Oof, GG. I think I got lucky there. That last flag, but very well fought, Oak. That's a really tough Yazuk. Don't let that score fool you. Especially those early flags, I was really struggling to make something happen there. As I said, Oak, you'll be fighting Daisy now. Yeah, GG, Oak. Daisy's here. And Deaf Daisy will be on the left, Oak will be on the right. And Synth, you'll be fighting me right after this. And actually we'll be pretty close to being done round 4 if you think about it once we get there, so. Okay, Daisy, you should just be able to take the left. Yep. Oak on the right. Yaz against Marie. This is a matchup we don't see very much of. I suspect it can be a challenge for Marie, but we'll see. There's not a lot of matchups that Marie has a good time in, unfortunately. I feel like Yaz's speed, I mean, he has a lot of what Barabash has against Marie. It's a lot of the same sort of things. It's not the same moves, but his game plan is extremely similar. He comes in at these fast cuts, he uses long guard attacks to counter her. He even has a good dash attack, so we'll see what Daisy can do. Daisy actually ahead, believe it or not, despite using Marie, but you can see it nicely done. So Daisy didn't do the double lunge there. She stopped it and then did a different thrust, and I think that helped her there. But yeah, as soon as a blade beat happens, Marie is just done. See what Daisy can do. high guard from Daisy, actually proving that that can block certain cuts from specific angles too. It's not an auto guard, of course, but if your blade is in the way, it seems like the high guard has more rigidity than her neutral stance. Oak just shoots in there. That's something that Yazek can do that can really catch you off guard, is he can suddenly shoot in and hit your head right past your guard. And it's definitely something Marie is going to have to watch out for in particular. Oak now gets the lead. Yeah, and as soon as he closes in, it's definitely a rough time. The high guard isn't outstretched. Yeah, so it's probably just better structure and whatnot, especially if you catch something just right. So it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's just it's kind of a shame that she has to do that to block stuff with any reliability. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Good usage of long guard against that thrust. The high guard actually deflects that thrust too. That's cool. Seeing it used in a defensive way, which is actually how you use it, by the way. In real life, you're supposed to like rotate with your body and deflect attacks with that guard, and also stab towards the head or maybe throw a cut. But Fabrice says that cutting is mostly a waste of time. He does tell you how to cut, but that isn't normally what he recommends. He normally recommends you stab with his particular type of rapier. The low guard there actually nearly... Wow, that was a... Wow. That was quite a sequence. I like what Daisy did there. She used low guard, a distance trap, and landed a good attack, but Oak somehow recovered. Because Marie is in a bit of a questionable state, but still, I think Daisy did some really amazing plays there. I think with a better version of Marie, those would have gone a bit better and it would have been close. But that is the game we play. I'll fight Synth now. Very well fought by both fighters there, yeah. And what can I say? That looks like a really tough matchup, so pulling some of that stuff off, even if it's not killing, like just landing those hits, I think is pretty impressive. And in a perfect world, those hits would actually be doing something, so... Anyway, I'll be on the left and Synth will be on the right. And again, Synth, if you get, I don't know, these weird freezing things with Parsec again, just let me know. Try and pause the game. I'll keep an eye out if you stop moving or something too. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Marie's guard. I get that rapiers have less weight in the blade, but they're not small swords. And even small swords can parry better than that. But I don't know. They've got more authority than what the game makes them out to be. At least with Marie. Marta's rapier does a decent job of guarding, so that's the funny thing. It still is susceptible to blade beats, but not to the same degree. Like, there. Like, Marie would not block that. But Marta does just fine, so I don't know what's up with Marie. Yeah, and I only really got a good blade beat in there, I think, when Synth did a stab. So that's the difference between those two characters, defensively speaking. Is Marta making Zera noises? Or is that Barabash making those noises? That was weird timing if that was Barabash, but I'll suspect Barabash because I know he has the new voice lines too. But it was funny that it happened right as Marta was doing it back Y. Yeah, I think it was actually Barabash who did that. Maybe the voice lines are slightly bugged. Nice, yeah. GG. That was 7-4. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a solid Marta there. Speed looks fine. Yeah, who knows, Venator? I have no idea why we're experiencing these technical issues, but because my connection should be fine too. Yeah, it'll be Daisy against Venator. We'll see if there's another curse, by the way, where Venator keeps losing the Deaf Daisy. Like when they meet in a tournament, it always goes badly for Venator. We'll see if this happens again. Yeah, Venator on the left, Deaf Daisy on the right. Probably gonna go. Oh no, he's gonna go Barabash. Okay. I was gonna say Isabella, but Barabash is actually a nice choice as well. I think Venator might have also been inspired by some of the plays that I was making yesterday, showing the full potential of what Barabash can do. Ooh. I hope Venator's not lagging. He kind of walked into that, and the cut finishes him off there. Yeah, he definitely... It's true that Marie is weak, but you still sometimes have to be wary of being stabbed perfectly. Because, given the nature of the game, she still has the ability to sometimes one-shot kill. And that's why I think the issue with Marie is less the damage and more the accuracy. I think she gets the weird low damage shenanigans when the game is detecting a graze and not a proper hit. Because there we go, we're seeing again, Venator moves back, the point hits perfectly, we're not getting any strange grazes, so I think that was like 100 damage or something. That just one shot. Venator cut to the leg. Daisy making some excellent plays here as Venator tries to do something here. The Rapier not the best at cutting. Venator is able to... Okay, I don't know why the Maestro special was acting so strange there, but Venator does get a flag out of that, despite taking a bunch of cuts. Which, in fairness, that makes a bit more sense. The Rapier is not a cutting weapon, but... The stabs not killing is very strange. The cuts obviously do serve a purpose, but yeah, it's when the stabs are not killing, there's something wrong, because Marto's clearly way more consistent. Yeah. It's a double. To some extent, that also makes sense. Like, obviously, if you're too close, I'm surprised that didn't land. Seemed like it hit the thigh, but... Venator was long guarding, so that's probably why it didn't land. But, yeah, so to some extent, it makes sense that being too close would nullify a stab to the point where it wouldn't kill. But I think it's overdone with Marie, because obviously we also see points where her stab is connecting properly as far as we can tell, but the game thinks it's a graze for some reason, so... I think it's one of those mechanics where it can make sense, but it very often visually doesn't match what's actually happening. And yeah, going for the sidestep there, but Barabash getting a bit too close there. Still, that was a great effort by Daisy, and Venator clearly had to adjust there. So, yeah, very good effort. Another 7-4 match. Synth against Oak now. And then Venator and I will end off the tournament. It was more decent after the, what was it, the third flag? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it showed. But still, Daisy made some excellent plays there. Yeah, Isabella's YY is way better against Marie for that purpose than Barabash's back YY. And it's just the nature of the move. It's not about it being overpowered or anything like that. It's just Isabella's is way more tight, I guess, her combo. So it covers the center line better. Whereas Barbash does two Moulinets as he does it, so he's more wide open. And yeah, sometimes it just whiffs too, so. That's not to say his YY is bad, though. I've noticed actually Maestro is making it work pretty well with Yon, so. And it definitely does look a little bit better, so. It's a good combo, but just has certain weaknesses. Anyway, Oak will be on the right. And I'll make sure Synth has keyboard. Could be. I'm not sure. Okay, Synth going with Zera might be a smart pick, actually, as it's pretty good at beating blades and stuff. And actually, time-wise, I mean, we could be doing worse. This tournament's gone for almost 2 hours at this point, which is, for my round robins, that is getting a little bit long for a 6-person tournament, but as far as tournaments go in this community, that is far from unreasonable, so I'm glad we got stuff sorted out before we pass that 2-hour mark. In fact, we really have 2 fights to go because Pico ended up having to leave, so. Good cut there by Synth. Yeah, Synth is really trying to show some aggressive Zera gameplay, and I've noticed the best Zera players are actually very good at that. Just mixing it up on you and throwing these wild attacks that seem like they're easy to punish, but a good Zera player knows how to cancel into something else or to use it at a time when an opponent's used to a faster tempo, but then you switch up the timing and they're not ready for it. That stab getting right past there as Oak tries to sidestep, but he was wide open. That back X there as Zera screams in pain there. Upcut into a thrust. That was a good try by Synth. And yeah, nice cut there by Oak. Yazuk has a really unique snap cut, and I think it's part of a combo is how it works, where it shoots in really far and can bypass guards, especially if you're trying to throw something. And it can hit the head pretty well, so it's actually not a bad move to try trading with, despite being so fast. It's definitely something Synth has to be aware of. It has more range than you might think, because he shoots forward so fast. Good stab by Synth, but not able to secure the kill. That back Y does secure the kill. We get a bit of a stutter on the kill, but I'd much rather stutters on the kill than in the middle of the game. The game's definitely looking way better now. And Oak's first cut didn't connect, but he was right to keep throwing those side steps. So he does get a flag. A very close fight. Big slash there by Oak, not able to connect. Thrust there by Synth. And yeah, Synth needing one more somehow gets the double last second there, I think. Obviously dashed in to do a cut. Sidestep, nice exchange there. I'd say Oak, well, he was kind of forced on the defensive there, but he's able to come back to life and hit the hand. Goes low there. That was risky, and Synth, I think, tried to punish it and does manage to land a back wide to the leg. That lowers Oak's mobility. Oak gets a punch or something there. Oak manages to snag that win, but it was looking like Synth had it for just a moment. What a twist at the end there. And nice fight. We actually are getting quite a few close fights, so I'm glad to see that. Alright, and now Venator will fight me to end this tournament off. I hope we do not have any issues in the middle of our fight. Please do pause the game or message me or something, Venator, if something happens. Alright, and then with that fight, we'll be done, as I said, so let's get this over with. Not the best tournament, of course, because of the technical issues, but I hope you all have been enjoying some of these fights all the same. I'll try to host something on Sunday to make up for this, because, well, I plan to do that anyway, but I'd still rather sort of end my streak of hosting events this week on a better note than this. So points is also a motivator there. I won't deny that, but I also enjoy hosting, so I hope to do that at least once more this week, or that would be next week technically, but yeah, this fall break. I might also stream a bit of Ghost of Yotai later tonight if anybody's interested. I actually have PS5 remote, so I can do it straight from my PC. Venator, let me look at your ping. Your ping is 206, which is a little bit high, actually, even for Romania. So, you're on the left, by the way. But, yeah, I'm not sure why it's so high, but... Because I think I get, what, 180 on your ping? It's something like that. It's high, but it's not, like, unplayably high, so... I do hope it's not too laggy for you or anything like that. But like I said, I'll be streaming Ghost of Yotai later tonight, I think. So if anyone's interested, feel free to pop in. Oh, we're getting the same issues, I assume. Yeah, it said 206 ping. So that is a little bit higher than I'd like to see if I was playing on Parsec. 211 now, it says. Unpause? Yeah. Alright, I'll let you do inputs and stuff. And just long guard if you're good. Yeah, I mean, let's see if it passes. Yeah. If not, we can try Steam. Or, honestly, I could fight on your host. We could figure something out. I don't mind. I know your host is not advertised, but I really don't mind fighting somewhere else. Just to end this damn tourney. Okay, I think you're having the same. Try Steam? Yeah, no worries. It won't be a Christmas tree. Yeah, I hope not. Yeah, your ping was looking a little high, like I was saying, so I'm not surprised, unfortunately, that you're having issues. Alright, you should be able to just click that link. Yeah, you've got... So on Steam it says you've got yellow bars. I hope that's less to do with your connection and more to do with distance, but... I guess we'll see. It looks like it's more to do with connection. I don't know why, but... Yeah, that's annoying. Alright. Do you want to try Parsec again, or do you want to switch hosts? What do you want to do? If it's still flicking like crazy. Yeah, that's not normal. Yeah. Alright, if you're willing. But as I said, we can always do something else, like some other host. Alright. I think we feel the same way. Yeah. Yeah, Venator wants to just finish it. And like I said, I'll host something on Sunday. Yeah, I do too. It's just the game was having problems, and then now this is having problems. Yeah, I don't know. At least the game is mostly better. I still sent Kubel the bug report though, because I'm still, especially on death, I'm still seeing some weird stuff. So it's not like fully fixed. I'll still play with the settings though, Venator. I appreciate the suggestions that you were giving. So if I can find some configuration that works a little bit better still than what I usually do, I'll definitely implement that. But yeah, it's obviously something Kubel did to the game. I'm not sure what. So I did send him a bug report as well. Hopefully he actually reads it. He didn't read my previous bug report, so I think if more people could send that to him, that would also be helpful, just so that it's not just one person and he's more likely to read it. Anyway. I don't know how I'd manage this. Nice, yeah. Everyone's having bugs. Yeah, I wonder why that is. You good? Yeah, something's wrong. Because it's not like Venator at all to just stand still. Or any good player, so I'm wondering what's wrong. Maybe he froze. Alright. Yeah, no worries. Just, I don't know, long guard when you're ready. It's a shame. I wanted to end with such a good fight, but that might not be possible. Alright, you good? I wasn't attacking you, I was just seeing if you were there. You might be frozen still. I don't see anything on Discord, so... Oh yeah, you can push people now just by walking into them if they're not moving. Just slideshows? Okay. Gotta forfeit. Yeah, I understand. Let's just finish the tourney here. I'm not sure why this is happening. Let me look at your ping. Just see if it's changed. 195, that's still a little bit high, I'd say. But, yeah, your ping's just like a touch higher than normal. One more restart? Yeah, if you want. Or if anyone wants to try hosting our match, I'm also not opposed to that. I don't mind. Yeah, maybe we should just join Daisy's. We can just restart as well if there was a slideshow the whole time. I really don't mind giving up a flag, so. Yeah, I don't know if it's something between us or if it's Venator's connection or what, but let's just try a new host and see what it is. It could be all sorts of different issues, so both can have it bad, yeah. My ping looks like it's 174, so mine's good. I don't know about Venator's, but mine's looking good at least. Although it's flashing yellow, but that sometimes happens due to distance. Oh, if you could disable, yeah, thank you. Yep, we're good to go. Alright, Venator on the left, I'll take the right. I I gotta say that slow-mo thing's kind of funny in the context of some of the other changes Kubo's been making. Where... Wait, why am I on the left? Let's try that again. Uh, just the changes that make the game unresponsive or whatever. And then he has this slow-mo feature as well. It's just really bizarre, the sorts of changes that he's been making to some of the game's features and just these modes that he's adding and stuff. It just feels like it kind of doubles down on the stuff that's making the game worse, but whatever. Let's have a good fight, Venator, if possible. Ooh. Maybe Daisy's getting the same issue. It kind of froze for a moment as I killed Venator. It was kind of cinematic, but I still don't like seeing that in the game, so hopefully Kubold will deal with it. Or come up with a solution. Oh, that was interesting. I felt like that should have been a double. Oh, you good, Venator? Alright. Yeah, some slow-mo on the kill. That's fine. Nice, yeah. Good patience. Oof. GG. Okay, 7-4. Venator wins that fight. And Venator actually takes first place. Nicely done with that win. Yeah, literally a 1 point difference. I thought it was close. The cool part is Oak also got 25. The points difference is what allowed me to overcome him. Synth did well too, 24, so very disputed in the first 4 spots. So congratulations to everybody who got to those spots. Daisy with some amazing plays. Again, I think the character holds her back. I think the tactics and the fight IQ are there though, so keep it up. Just some very tough competition combined with character not being in the best state doesn't make for a good performance in this case. But still, keep it up. When Marie gets buffed, you'll definitely do much, much better. Anyway, I won't keep you guys any longer than I need to. Thanks for coming out to those of you who participated, and I'll see you next time.